Modern dating confidence. Stand out naturally without trying too hard. Welcome. Please, find a comfortable space. Take a breath. And let go of any pressure you might be carrying about dating, about finding someone, about being enough. This audiobook is different. It's not a list of tricks, pickup lines, or games. It's not about learning to perform or to become someone you're not. This is about a homecoming, a return to the most attractive, compelling, and authentic person you already are. It's about modern dating confidence, standing out naturally without trying too hard. I want you to imagine for a moment the feeling of being completely at ease, in your own skin, in a conversation, on a date. That feeling where you're not mentally editing your next sentence or worrying about what impression you're making. That state of flow, where connection happens or doesn't and you remain perfectly okay, perfectly yourself.
Ow.
That is what we are cultivating. Over the next chapters, we will gently dismantle the noise of modern dating, the swiping, the mixed signals, the pressure, and rebuild from a place of quiet, unshakable confidence. Confidence that doesn't shout, but draws people in. Confidence that is simply calm. This is your journey. Speak it at your own pace. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The exhaustion of performance. Let's name it. The fatigue. That feeling after a date or even after a string of messages where you feel drained, as if you've been on a stage playing a part. You calculated your responses. You curated your stories. You laughed at the right moment. And now, alone, you're empty. This is the performance trap. And in the modern world of dating, it's the default setting. Perform our profiles. We perform our best angle lives. Perform coolness or aloofness or overwhelming enthusiasm. Perform because we believe the real us isn't quite enough to captivate, to interest, to secure that second date or that lasting connection. But here's the fundamental truth every expert marketer, every compelling storyteller knows. Authenticity is the ultimate scarcity. In a world of filters and facades, what is rare? What stands out? Not another perfectly crafted image, but a glimpse of the real, the human, the gently imperfect. Trying too hard is the scent of insecurity. It's perceptible. It's in the over-eager agreement, the nervous laughter that fills silence, the subtle bending of your own preferences to match theirs. The other person senses it, even if unconsciously. It places a burden on them. It makes the connection feel transactional. I am performing for your validation. Now, feel your shoulders drop. Take a breath. What if your only task was not to impress, but to explore? To explore another person and to allow yourself to be explored. Not as a finished product, but as a fascinating work in progress. Standing out naturally begins with a single liberating decision to retire from the stage, to step off. To decide that you would rather have a genuine connection that goes nowhere than a false one that seems to go somewhere. This decision is the bedrock. This is where your calm begins. Chapter 2. The cornerstone. Confidence. As calm, we often misunderstand confidence. Picture it as bold, loud, the life of the party, the quick wit in every conversation. That can be one expression. But for many, perhaps for youth, it feels like yet another performance. So let's redefine confidence for modern dating. Let's call it what it truly is. Calm, inner calm. It is the quiet assurance that you are fundamentally acceptable as you are in this moment. It is the absence of desperate need. It is the capacity to be present without anxiously pulling for a specific outcome. Think of the people you feel most comfortable around. They aren't necessarily the loudest. They are the ones who listen fully, who aren't easily ruffled, who seem comfortable with silence. Their energy is grounded, and in their presence, you feel you can relax. That is attractive. That is magnetic.
Oh.
This calm is not apathy. It's not about not caring. It's about caring from a place of wholeness, not lack. You are interested, but not needy. You are open, but not empty, waiting to be filled by another's approval. How do you cultivate this calm? It starts alone. It starts with turning down the volume of your own inner critic, that voice that narrates your every potential flaw on a date. Practice observing that voice as if it's a radio station playing in another room. You don't have to call in. You don't have to engage. Before a date, instead of rehearsing talking points, practice a minute of stillness. Breathe. Set an intention. My intention is to be curious and kind. That's it. Not to make them like me. Just curious and kind. Carry that calm in. Let it manifest in a slower rate of speech, in the ability to hold a gentle, relaxed eye contact, in comfortable pauses between thoughts. You are not rushing to fill space. You are trusting that your presence is enough to occupy it. This calm confidence becomes your signature. In a world of frantic energy, you become a sanctuary, and people are drawn to sanctuaries. Chapter 3. The Art of Curious Listening. If calm confidence is your foundation, then curious listening is your most powerful tool. This is the master key to natural connection. Most people in dating are half listening. They're hearing words, but simultaneously crafting their response, wondering how they look, thinking of a clever thing to say next. It's a divided attention. And it's painfully obvious. True, curious listening is an act of generosity and strength. It says, in this moment, my world can wait. I want to understand yours. Here is how to practice the art. First, listen to understand, not to respond. Let their words land. Process them. See the world from behind their eyes. Second, use the power of the pause. When they finish a thought, allow a breath of silence. This signifies respect and digestion. Then respond from a place of genuine curiosity. Ask deeper canvas questions. Move beyond the interview style. What do you do? Instead, try gentle, open-ended inquiries. What's a project that's exciting you right now? Inside or outside of work? What did you love doing as a kid that you might still have a spark for? What's a place you've been that pleasantly surprised you? Then listen for the energy, not just the facts. What makes their voice light up? What topic makes them lean in? That's your point of connection. And here's the secret. When you are fully focused on understanding another person, a magical thing happens. You forget to be self-conscious. Your own anxiety dissolves in the act of curiosity. You stop trying. You are simply engaged. And in that state, you are naturally interesting because you are interested. Your calm listening creates a space where the other person feels truly heard, perhaps a rare experience in their own life. That feeling is unforgettable, and it will be intimately connected to the memory of you. Chapter 4. Your authentic spotlight. You have retired from the full stage performance, but you still want to be seen. Of course, the goal is not to become a blank wall. It is to become a captivating, authentic portrait. This is about finding your authentic spotlight, the natural glow that comes from talking about or engaging with what you genuinely love. You do not need to be an expert. You need to be an enthusiast. Think of your genuine interests. It's not the ones you think sound impressive, but the ones that make time disappear for you. It could be anything. The history of board games, perfecting sourdough bread, hiking trails at dawn, niche genre film, bird watching, building playlists for every mood, the physics of baseball, vintage motorcycle restoration. These are not hobbies. They're portals to your essence. They show how your mind works, what you find beautiful, where you put your energy. On a date, weave these in naturally. Don't deliver a resume of interests. Instead, share a tiny, vivid fragment. Instead of, I like cooking, you might say, pause, conversational shift, I completely lost track of time last Sunday. Was trying to get this sear on a scallop, just right crispy golden crust, tender inside and. I must have used half a stick of butter experimenting. The kitchen was a disaster, but that moment when I finally got it, pure, quiet triumph. Do you see the difference? You're not stating a fact. You're offering a glimpse into a moment of your life with sensory detail and a hint of self-deprecating humor. You're being vulnerable and specific. That is compelling. Your authentic spotlight does two things. First, it attracts people who are drawn to that genuine energy. Second, and more importantly, it repels people who aren't a match. And that is a good thing. Your goal is not universal appeal. It's a deep, resonant connection with the right few. Let your quirks shine softly. They are your signature. Chapter 5, Digital Presence, Not Performance. Our modern dating journey often begins on a screen. This is where the performance trap is most seductive. Your profiles can feel like advertisements for a product to you. Let's shift that. Think of your digital presence not as a billboard, but as a curated window into your authentic world. For your photos, seek candids over poses. A picture of you laughing genuinely, caught in a moment of real joy, is infinitely more powerful than a perfected selfie. Show you doing something you love, even if your face isn't perfectly angled toward the camera. Include a full body shot that reflects how you actually show up in the world. Be honest. Attraction must root in reality. For your bio text, avoid cliches. Love to travel, laugh, and have adventures describes almost every human. Be specific. Aim for something that hints at your authentic spotlight and invites curiosity. For example, weekends are for slow coffee and fast hikes. Currently trying to identify every local bird by its song, the chickadee is my favorite. Let's trade favorite obscure pizza toppings. It's light. It shows a blend of interests, nature, food. It offers easy, quirky conversation starters. In messaging, embody the same principles. Calm and curiosity. Don't just say, hey. Reference something from their profile with a genuine question. Your photo at the rock climbing gym looked intense. What's the most satisfying climb you've completed? Or I see you're into indie folk. If you had to pick, Fleet Foxes or early Bon Iver. Then, the crucial step. Move to a real conversation relatively quickly. The goal of the digital stage is not pen pal perfection. It says to sense a glimmer of connection and then step toward the real world of video call or a low-pressure coffee. The digital space is the porch. It's not the house. Don't get stuck on the porch. Chapter 6. The alchemy of vulnerability. This may be the most important and most misunderstood element. We have talked about calm, about listening, about sharing your interests. But true, Deep connection requires a careful, beautiful ingredient: vulnerability. Vulnerability is not oversharing. It is not dumping your emotional baggage on the first date. That is not strength. It's a lack of boundaries. True vulnerability is strength and softness. It is the courageous choice to reveal a little of your inner world, piece by piece, in proportion to the growing trust. It's moving from the what to the why. On an early date, you might share what you do. I'm a teacher. Later, with gentle warmth, you might share the why, I got into teaching because I had a professor who saw my potential when I didn't. It made me realize how much impact one person's belief can have. And I wanted to try and offer that. That is a vulnerable share. It's not trauma. It's a piece of your heart's origin story. It's expressing a mild, relatable insecurity in a confident way. I'm actually a bit nervous. I always am before meeting someone new. But I'm really glad we did this, said with a calm smile. This is incredibly endearing and humanizing. Vulnerability is the antidote to game playing. It disarms. It invites the other person to put their own armor down. It transforms an interaction from two evaluators to two humans. When you offer a small, true piece of yourself from a place of calm confidence, you create a powerful alchemy. You demonstrate safety and strength simultaneously. You stand out because in a world of surface-level banter, you offer a moment of real depth. And depth is where love finds its anchor. Chapter 7. Embracing Outcome Independence. We have built a beautiful framework.com. Curiosity, authentic spotlight, gentle vulnerability. But all of it can crumble if we are attached to one specific outcome. They must like me. This must lead to a relationship. This attachment is the source of all trying too hard. So we arrive at our final, liberating skill, outcome independence. This does not mean you don't care. It means you detach your self-worth from the result of any single interaction. You enter every date with a primary goal: to learn, to explore, and to enjoy a human connection for what it is. The secondary goal is to see if there is a mutual fit for something more. How does this feel in practice? It means you can be fully present and engaging while holding in the back of your mind a quiet, solid knowing. Whatever happens here, I am okay. If there is a connection, wonderful. If not, I have lost nothing. I remain complete. This mindset is your superpower. It eliminates desperation. It allows you to be genuinely you, because you are not watching yourself from the other person's perspective, grading your performance. If a date doesn't lead to another, outcome independence allows you to think, interesting, we weren't a match. I enjoyed the conversation about their travel stories, though. There is no collapse of self-esteem. There's no spiraling into what's wrong with me. You simply return to your calm, whole center. This independence makes you fearless. You can ask clear questions. You can state your own preferences gently. You can walk away from situations that aren't right for you with grace, because your worth isn't on the line. You are no longer a beggar for love. You're a conscious, whole person, selectively looking for a partner to share your already wonderful journey. That energy is not just confident, it is magnetic. And so we come to a close, to a beginning. You now hold a new blueprint. It's not for building a facade, but for uncovering the natural, attractive confidence that has been within you all along. Remember the core truths. Modern dating confidence is not a loud roar. It is a deep inner calm. It is the calm of a tree, rooted, not shaken by every passing breeze. Your greatest skill is not witty banter, but profound, curious listening. In listening, you connect and you forget to be anxious. Your standout feature is not perfection, but the authentic glow of your genuine passions. Let your quirky light shine. Vulnerability offered in small, strong doses is the secret language of true connection. And above all, anchor yourself in outcome independence. Your wholeness is not negotiable. It is not dependent on a swipe, a date, or a relationship. You are already enough. This journey is a practice. Some days you will feel it effortlessly. Other days the old fears may whisper. When they do, come back to your breath. Come back to calm. Come back to curiosity. Go into your dating life not as a performer seeking applause, but as an explorer seeking meaningful landscapes. Let every interaction, whether it leads to love or simply a pleasant hour, be a moment of genuine human experience. You are ready to stand out, not by straining, but by softening into the truth of who you are. Thank you for listening. Go gently.